All right, let's jump right in. We are tackling one of the most powerful and honestly, one of the most misunderstood ideas in all of philosophy, the Übermensch, or the Overman, from the one and only Friedrich Nietzsche. He believed the entire point of humanity was to set the stage for something, well, something greater.
And he kicks things off by asking you this incredibly direct question. Are you a finished product, a final destination, or are you just a transition, a bridge to whatever comes next? This single question is at the absolute heart of everything we're going to talk about.
So what is this something greater? It's the Übermensch. But let's get one thing straight right away. This is not a superhero. We're not talking about capes and flying. Nietzsche is talking about a state of psychological superiority, an individual who has achieved such an incredible level of self-mastery that they can literally create their own moral code from the ground up.
Now, to really get the Overman, you first have to understand how Nietzsche saw the human condition. He didn't see humanity as the end goal. He saw us as something to be overcome, like a rickety bridge stretched out over a terrifying empty abyss.
Think about it like this. We are a tightrope suspended between 2 points. On one side, you have our animal past, driven by pure, raw instinct, and on the other, our ultimate potential, the Übermensch, guided by a will that they've forged themselves. For Nietzsche, our whole meaning is found not in standing still, but in the act of crossing from one side to the other.
And what's that scary abyss waiting for us if we fall? It's nihilism. Nietzsche basically predicted that as science and reason started poking holes in traditional sources of meaning, like religion, people would be left staring into a void, feeling like life is completely pointless. The Übermensch is his answer to that terrifying crisis.
Okay, so how in the world do you even start to cross that bridge? Well, it all begins inside. You have to stop being a passive observer and become the active architect of your own character.
The number one fundamental exercise, the daily workout, if you will, for the person striving to become an Overman is self-overcoming. And this isn't about crushing your desires. It's about taking all that chaos of passions and drives inside you, organizing it, and pointing it like a laser towards your highest goals.
He breaks this down into 3 big steps. First, you've got to master your passions. Don't destroy them, organize them to give your character a unique and powerful style. Second, reevaluate all values. Don't just blindly accept the morals you were taught. Take them apart, question them, and build your own. And third, you have to seek true wisdom, which is a whole different ballgame from just collecting facts. And this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Knowledge is just information. You can read 1,000 books and still be a fool. Wisdom is earned through experience. It's knowledge that's been tested in the fires of real life. And the Overman always prioritizes wisdom.
So, what does that actually look like for you today? It means you stop the mindless scrolling. You become a ruthless filter for the information you let in, making sure it serves your highest goals. You unsubscribe from all the noise, and most importantly, you take ideas off the screen and test them out in the real world. You actually live your philosophy. Okay, so once you start getting your inner world in order, what's next? You need a powerful way to deal with everything the outside world throws at you. And for Nietzsche, the secret formula for this is called Amor Fati.
Amor Fati literally means a love for one's fate. And this is radical. It's not just about gritting your teeth and bearing what happens. It's about actively loving it. The good, the bad, the triumphs, the suffering, all of it. You want nothing to be different because every single moment, even the most painful ones, forged you into who you are.
This kind of radical self-acceptance is the exact opposite of what Nietzsche saw all around him. He was so disappointed because he'd look around for these great, authentic individuals, and all he found were people just copying each other, becoming, in his razor-sharp words, the apes of their ideals. Ouch. So it really boils down to this choice you have to make. Are you going to be part of the herd, finding safety in conformity and living by someone else's rules? Or are you going to be the Overman, who finds the courage to be authentic, to live by their own internal code, and to truly own every part of themselves?
A huge part of that courage is how you look at failure. I mean, listen to this question from Nietzsche. He's saying that real transformation, real growth, requires a kind of total destruction first. You have to be willing to let the old you burn away to be reborn as something stronger.
You see, for the person on the path to becoming an Overman, failure is never the end of the road. No way! It's fuel for the fire. That rejection, that mistake, that heartbreak, it isn't just a setback, it's data, it's motivation. Your job is to find the meaning in your suffering and use that energy to rise from the ashes again and again.
And that brings us to the final explosive stage. Once you've started to master your inner world and developed its unbreakable attitude towards fate, you're ready to become a real force for change. You are ready to become the dynamite. This is how Nietzsche described himself, and it perfectly captures what the Übermensch represents. Now, of course, he's not talking about actual bombs. He's talking about the explosive, world-shattering power of a new idea, of a person who lives so authentically that their very existence challenges the old ways of doing things.
So what does it mean to be dynamite? It means you have the guts to question absolutely everything. The customs in your town, the traditions in your family, the outdated thinking at your job. The Overman doesn't just blindly follow the rules. They take them apart, see if they still make sense, and if they don't, they have the courage to write new ones. And a huge piece of this is speaking your truth, because Nietzsche has this really chilling warning for us. He says that when you silence your real perspective, it doesn't just vanish, it festers inside you. It turns into a poison that sickens your soul. To be an extraordinary person, you have to speak your extraordinary truths. So, in the end, it all comes down to this. This is the final choice Nietzsche lays out. On one side, you have the last man, this pathetic character who only wants comfort, has no real goals, and is just kind of weak and miserable. And on the other side, you have the chance to be the bridge, to embrace struggle, to become strong, to be the pathway to something truly great.
And so, we end right where we started, with that piercing question pointed straight at you. The potential is there, the path is laid out. The only thing left to decide is, what are you going to do, starting right now, to overcome yourself and take that first step onto the bridge?